your kids unconditionally makes them who they are. It frankly gives them the confidence. We know from psychology research and we know from sociological research that the bedrock of confidence in the world is a sense of feeling unconditionally loved and accepted for who you are. And there's no one who plays a role or a greater role in sending that message to kids than their extended family. And so for your role in helping make these kids who they are, for trusting us as Brandeis Marin to be partners in educating them and helping to lay that foundation for their lives, we are profoundly grateful. We're also excited to share a little bit about the school that they spend so much of their time in. You got to see them today during Tefillah. Tefillah happens every single Thursday, and you're always welcome. You know, today is sort of special. We won't always necessarily feed you, although I will tell you that we do have oneggs about once a month, once every 6 weeks. So you're welcome to come anytime. What's underneath our tefillah? I want to sort of make visible what might be invisible to something like that. We are not only carving out space and time for our students to engage with the Jewish tradition, to become versed and fluent in prayer and in the public expressions of Jewish life, whether it is through synagogue, prayer, study, holidays, debate, and other forms of content. We also want to get every single student in front of a large group on a regular basis for 2 reasons. One is we want them to become comfortable public speaking. It's a hugely important skill in life. And if our kids are comfortable doing that when they're in kindergarten and 3rd grade and 5th grade, then that is a skill and a confidence that they will take with them. And also, and I loved hearing the kindergartners introduce themselves today in Hebrew, by the way, right? A second language in front of 400 people, introducing themselves. What's the message they're taking away from that? I matter. We're all listening. You're the littlest and the youngest people in the room, and what you say matters. And all of these messages, all of these skills, they weave and blend together to create kids who are prepared to go out and kind of fulfill the message of that song they so beautifully sang at the end. To tackle this world no matter how broken it is, to still have dreams. Our kids don't have big dreams because they're blissfully ignorant. Our kids have big dreams because they imagine a world that could be. And maybe it is we as the adults in the room who become jaded over time. But our kids are dreaming big dreams, and Brandeis Marin and your households and your families are the places where the confidence to pursue those dreams grows. The seeds are planted, we are fertilizing their lives, and they are growing into young people who are ready to tackle that world and make their dreams come true. And we do this work in partnership with families through a number of ways. One of the kind of non-negotiable parts of a Brandeis Marin education is their encounter with the Jewish tradition. It is saying whether you are a Jewish child or whether you are a non-Jewish child, this school is carving out space in the world for this cultural heritage and wisdom tradition to be foregrounded and encountered, because there is wisdom and there are values that are meaningful and compelling and relevant to each one of us. And our students are digging in and taking advantage of that. And so we have Jewish studies and Hebrew 5 days a week. It is a priority for our school and for our students. And I can tell you that our kids go on to high school, and by the way, our 8th graders don't have any trouble getting into, year over year, getting into the high schools of their choice, because they're incredibly academically well prepared, but they're also grounded in values. They're willing to take healthy risks, like trying out for something they've never done before, or speaking in front of the whole school. You'll see Brandeis Marin grads as leaders on all of the high school campuses. Leaders of clubs, student body president, active on student council, the newspaper, in all kinds of leadership positions, and we know that the confidence and the ability to kind of lean into new things and take risks is something that is built and nurtured here at Brandeis. They're also really menschy. They're just good kids, and so what high school doesn't want super academically well-prepared, nice kids on their campuses? We also believe here at Brandeis Marin in project-based learning, and I think as you walk around the classes today and spend a little time there, you're going to see some examples of that. We really want to connect students' learning to the real world so that they're not just kind of filling out worksheets, because I have yet to find a kid who's super inspired by a worksheet, but rather linking their learning to real-world problems, learning how to problem solve, learning how to collaborate with other people, learning how to appreciate that there are often multiple perspectives or multiple ways to look at things, whether that is a text or a poem or even a math problem. Usually, there are a lot of ways in the world to see and to understand something, and we're trying to cultivate an ability in our students to appreciate those multiple perspectives. And of course, we're also teaching them how to ask good questions, how to understand that a well-articulated, well-framed question is the key to unlocking good problem-solving skills, because we all can spend a lot of time spinning our wheels in pursuit of sort of like the wrong solution because we've misdiagnosed the problem. And so it is through project-based learning and engagement in real-world problem-solving that our kids are learning all of the skills that are what we would call durable skills, the skills that they will carry with them. None of us knows what the world is going to look like in 25 or 30 years when they're ready to take up positions in their careers, but we do know that they're going to need to be good problem solvers, able to ask good, profound questions, to be good communicators and collaborators, and to see the world through multiple different lenses in order to be able to collaborate successfully. Another way in which we are bringing project-based learning and real-world learning and critical thinking skills to life is in our middle school. It's happening, of course, in every class, but I did want to just shout out that last year we started a new entrepreneurship program in our 6th grade. Our 6th graders are basically learning how to create a company, how to recognize a need in the world, how to write a business plan, how to understand the needs of the potential customer or end user, how to iterate on a project. And in March, and I invite you to come and join this, in March they're going to be pitching their businesses to a Shark Tank panel, a friendly Shark Tank panel, and those friendly sharks will give them some advice on their businesses. The 7th grade takes that skill and engages in what's called a Tzedakah project, a year-long project of really looking at the way nonprofits work in the world. What are some of the issues and problems in our society, in our environment, Israel, here, with animals, you name it, whatever the topic is that they are interested in, they are researching the topic. They're looking at Jewish values that help guide how we might think about that problem, investigating different nonprofit organizations and learning how to think about a budget, how much of a nonprofit budget is allocated towards administrative expenses, how much is allocated towards actually solving the problem, and then they pitch their nonprofits to one another, and because that is a milestone year where many of those kids are going through their bar and bat mitzvah year, we ask parents in the community in lieu of gifts to donate to this project. They then sort of pivot from me to we and become a foundation board and make allocation grants to those nonprofits. That also happens at a tefillah. We welcome you to come to that if you want to be inspired. It's a great way to start your day to hear 7th graders giving grants to really outstanding nonprofit organizations. I could go on, and I know my time is limited. I see out of the corner of my eye, my colleagues are like, speed it up. But I do have one and a half additional things to say. One is you can see, and you can now hear, that we have a major construction project going on. Congregation Road of Shalom is rebuilding their entire building, and this beautiful courtyard that's being worked on now is a shared space. We're blessed to be on a campus with the JCC, Brandeis Marin, and Congregation Road of Shalom. We share the space. You saw that we are, doing tefillah and other things in the Hoyt Theater. As soon as this project is done, we'll return our tefillah to the sacred space at Road of Shalom, and we look forward to resuming our weekly tefillah and other major gatherings, including graduation in this gorgeous new sacred space. We just have a little picture, just in the next couple of weeks when the ground dries out a little bit, we'll be breaking ground on a new playground structure, really replacing the playground and the turf, converting our kindergarten yard into sort of like a model kibbutz, so that our students can have a totally renovated and renewed outdoor exploration and discovery space. And so the sense of renewal and invigoration and investment in the campus is literally, quite literally, all around us. And we look forward to welcoming you back when those projects are completed, so you too can appreciate the beautiful surroundings that your kids are going to school in. And I guess that's my last thing that I want to say, and that is just that you should know that the tuition that we charge doesn't cover the full cost of a Brandeis Marin education. Every year we raise $1 million from parents, from community. We have a broad array, alumni families who support our school. And if there's anything that you have heard from me today, or after you visit the classrooms and get a chance to see everything that I'm talking about in action for yourselves, if you're moved to support the school, we would welcome your investment in your children's education. We know that if you're contributing to tuition, you're already contributing hugely to your child. A gift to Brandeis Marin is a gift that supports our school, to make sure that this school and these values and this approach to education lasts for the next 45 years, from generation to generation. And so you have on your tables a little QR code. You can use your smartphones. You can also go to the website if you're so moved. We really welcome your presence, your participation, and just to end where I began, the gift of grandparent, the gift of an extended family, the gift of unconditional love pays dividends for children throughout their lives, giving them the confidence to move through a world that is increasingly complicated, and sometimes we don't even recognize it. And our kids go forth with those million dreams, and it is in the partnership that we have created together as loving family and loving educational community. And so without further ado, I am going to put you in the good hands of my two colleagues and give you an opportunity to go upstairs. And here's how it's going to work. Jen, yes?
I just had a question. I'm a parent, and I'm feeling moved and inspired. And I just went to scan this QR code, and it took me to a link to sign grandparents up for the newsletter. So I already signed all the grandparents of mine up for the newsletter, so thank you, Granny, you'll be getting that. But where can they donate money, or where can I donate money? Because I didn't find it in the QR code.
Oh, of course you didn't. Hello, thanks, Jen. So if you go onto the website, there is at the top of the website, there's a giving button, and there you can just click on the giving button and you'll see easy ways to make a donation through credit card or any other way. Thank you for that. Also,
if you scan the code.
Hi, I'm Anya. I'm the communications manager, and I created that.
Thank you very much. There was a user error on there.
I wanted to give you the opportunity first to get our news, because your kids are in the news every week, and it's really a great newsletter, I just have to say. So you will find out about performances coming up. You'll find out about what tefillahs you should come to. And if you click down a couple more, there's a button you can say, click yes, tell me more about giving, and we'll send you information as well. So no pressure today, but please sign up for the newsletter, because then you're going to get all the information and all the great photos, invitations to events, and we want you here. So that's what that is.
thank you, Anya. And by the way, if you like anything that you see visually coming out of the school, it all comes out of Anya. She's incredible. Here's how it's going to work. If you are related to a lower school student, kindergarten through 5th grade, then kindergarten through 4th grade, you're going to go with Pamela right now, and she's going to take you upstairs. If you need an elevator,